I think it's fair to say that never has so much flesh been pressed into so tight quarantines in their lives. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the point in the evening where you get to make a decision. You get to make a choice. You get to decide whether, having seen the full Monty, sorry, the half Monty, you want to see the full Monty. So, applause if you do. Do it.
Nasty indeed, boy. Yes, I hope there's no food left because I'm definitely off my food. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now take a 15-minute break and be back at 10 minutes past. Any questions, please pass to Judith, Boxer Schultz, Henrik, the bar waits. Could you please resume your seats on time? Thank you. And his rendition of The Invasion of the Personal Space Snatchers, using his massive intellect and prodigious perspiration. Talking of perspiration, do you remember Dr. Jarman? Dr. Sweat-stained Jarman. How many shirts does that man go through in a day? And why did, question of the year, why did Oscar Mink's wife marry a man who is clearly 300 or 400 years older than she is? Perhaps could be wealthy, true. Perhaps it was his undoubted ability to blob whenever he wanted to. And then we come to the exponents of the open mind. Group Captain Crow. Don't you just love him? I know I do. His look at my doctrine, spend a load of time critiquing my doctrine, and I'll ignore you. Never has so much prejudice been sealed into such a small mind in the history of human endeavour. Taught you as a lad, I believe, HG. Yes, Roy, Crow the Cranium, we used to call him. And my word, what a catch for the Aircar Studies Centre. Yes, they must have really been high on the draft last year, mustn't they? Now, we mustn't also forget a man who's already been referred to this evening by Tilly, train spotter Tilly. Gone native and gone completely bloody stupid. Bushy, the world hates me cabinet. During our visit to Darwin, I thought he was going to do an Oscar Mink on us, then take my airbase away from me, I can't help it. I can imagine that the entire populace of Darwin rejoiced when he arrived. It's okay now, we're safe. Mr. Positive has arrived. And he doesn't bear a grudge at all about the fact that he's been made an OC airbase wing just when OC airbase wings get castrated. Yes, Roy, I bet Darwin was throbbing when he arrived. Chooks started laying eggs and dogs got back on the job. Yes, thank you for that cultural input, Roy. And finally, there's the tramp. CDF. What a monster of a man! There he was, pheromones pulsing, juices raised, talking about command and control. Sexy or what? Yes, Roy, I think we better leave it at that. Before you actually stain something. And so, as a way of changing the subject swiftly, let's welcome back our own bringers of brilliance and bang them together hard for Kate and Fiona.
workshop. In the 11th month of Star Wars, this came to me. 11 doors, smaller, 10 army thrusters, 9 MAPs, 8 resubmits, 7 bugged micro, 6 DDS, 5 planning star, 4 rifle launches, 7 manual, 2 wings of cluster, and an avionics workshop. In the 12th month of Star Course, this came to me. 12 IOs, 11 cores, smaller, 10 army thrusters, 9 MAPs, 8 resubmits, 7 bugged lycra, 6 DDS, 5 planning star, 4 ramble lunches, 3rd inbound manual, 2 reviews on thrust, and an avionics workshop.
Thank you for the cluster. And of course, thanks to the lead man from the New Seekers, Mr. K. For those of you who missed the tune completely, that was the Jeff Farrell We Must Stick to the Bus Timetable arrangement of the ever popular Christmas ditty, 12 Days of Christmas.
Yes, talking about 12 days of Christmas, I don't know about you, but I've got to spend every bloody one of them with my in-laws.
Tremendous work from the room cluster as you'd expect, and now it's time to welcome back to the Armpit those tissue teasers, those cranium caressers, Kate and Fiona, for some more trivia.
Okay, go to the answers first. The cost of a banana daiquiri at Cactus. Table 32 have transformed into table 23 this time. And I like their answer. Nothing, my mother-in-law paid.
But the real answer is
$7.20.
We were close. I knew it was about that.
In night time between Darwin and Karratha, table 23 again came up with, if you drop Johnny home, 42 hours.
the real answer is 3.5 hours.
Oh, yeah. Well, 3 plus 30.
The brand name on the boxer shorts that Judith so beautifully modelled for us this evening.
And Ellie, everybody got this right.
Except for table 23, who had Redback.
It's actually Drambuie.
The quote, I told the Prime Minister this, look at the map, go down south and all you see is bloody penguins, you've got to go north. Table 23 again came up with Alice Tidball.
The answer is the Mayor of Catherine.
Yeah.
Now this is where the fun and games really started. The answers for the next two questions.
Okay, what is the first name of the young lieutenant that drove the Swinburnes whilst in the Pilbara? Table 23 again came up with Flat Matt White.
Table 4 said his first name was Fangio. Table 3 said it was Roland. Roland. Table 2 thinks he's Shane of the Pilbara. And Table 1 thinks it's Cliff Mudflap.
His real name is Trent.
Trent or Trench?
Trent, not Trench. That's what we drove into. The name of the boat and the quote from the hotel was that this is simply the most luxurious charter vessel ever today. Table 23's answer was, I didn't even go.
The real answer is the trade winds, but there were some other interesting answers. Table 3 said it was the SS Ripoff. Table 4 called it the Titanic, which also Dean's table thought it was called the Titanic. And Table 1 also thought it was called HMAS Ripoff.
Okay, we'll now go on to the next set of questions, which is our last one this evening. Get your cards ready, write your numbers up on top there.
Please take a seat, Steve. Steve is here in Australia to promote his latest video, which we'll quickly have a glance at to see the quality of his work.
Hi there, Kamal here, with a great Christmas gift suggestion for you all. Here's a brand new album from my friend, the incomparable Steve Drury. Steve Drury sings on his album, Drury Lame. You'll find... Can't handle it when he runs. You'll find some of your old favorites. Flash Jack from Gundagai.
There's a track winding back to an old-fashioned shack on the road to Jindalee.
She'll be coming round the mountain, and
When she comes.
that old special one for me, come
Show me
on.
the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Well, I had a little drink an hour ago, and wherever I may roam. Cross land. You'll always hear me singing this song.
So remember, when you're looking for that Christmas gift, Steve Drury sings on Drury Lane. His album from Dilmar. Have a cup of tea, and then sit down and have a good lie down.
Yes, that's right. Something special. Well, Steve, do you think anyone will actually buy your album?
Well, it's a niche market, obviously. Very niche. And I've actually heard worse.
Well, one wonders if there's a niche small enough, really. I mean, what particular very small niche are you targeting?
Well, Roy, it is Roysman. The tone deaf, tasteless, beer swilling, I just want to shout at the moon. Crazy, cashed upset. Like I said, very niche.
Yes, Steve. Well, I think we should put it to the audience. Does this niche actually exist here in the Armpit?
Except for the cat outfit.
Seems like you're wasting your time.
Well, I do have Monty, who's a very good manager, and he's given me great advice.
At what cost?
Well, my manager reckons it'll be worth it.
The manager you're paying to tell you that.
Well, yes. Anyway, I have got an album. I've cut my own record. I've lost my script. And we think the name is rather good, Drury Lane.
It amazes me that we need a script for this.
large album cover for a single, isn't it? With a couple of bits out of the middle. Thank you, Roy. Well, like I said, it's very niche market. But there's some good favourites on there. Things like, we won because we won because we won because 2-1. Marvellous, and thank you, Steve Drury. As I think is bleedingly obvious, the video is highly unlikely to be released now or any time in the future. However, it's time to wish Brewery a big redback-filled future, and I ask all Club Buggery viewers, whether here skulking in your office, watching on closed circuit TV, or here in the Armpit, to bang your Staff College CDs together as a way of thanking Steve Brewery. Yes, thank you, Steve. You can autograph them at the door. And now, my very good friends, it's time for a little spiritual enlightenment. Our next guests are going to take us a little closer to Staff College heaven. They have strived to model the next offering on the altar of song on a timeless classic.
When you say timeless classic HG, or classic HG, you don't mean Bruce and Brendan, the Batman and Robin of Fairburn, do you?
Not at all, Roy. Armpit dwellers, give me your hands. Brothers and sisters, shout Hail Mary and Hallelujah as we welcome to the vestry of variety, the goers of gospel, Monty, the brand new Seekers, the Terry Sliders, and Anne Ginger Rogers Wazinski.
Guitarists in the audience? Over here, over here.
May we please have the guitarist who couldn't shut up earlier?
Tony, get up.
Never knew how much I'd written, never knew how much I cared. When you put your pen to paper, you get a Caesar that curls your hair. You get me Caesar. You research me, Caesar, while you work at night. Caesar, in the morning, Caesar all through the night. And during lectures, leadership lights up the daytime, leadership lights up the night. I shut up when you call my name, you know Caesar really gets me right. You give me Caesar. When you research me, Caesar, while you work at night. Caesar, in the morning, Caesar all through the night. During lectures, every DS has got the fever. That is something you can tell. Caesar isn't such a good thing. Caesar should have been expelled.
Yes. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Monty. Thank you, Squatters, and thank you, Anne. Well, Roy, truly music from heaven. I think we may be joined by the fire crews soon. Almost heavenly. Now, Roy, which musician over the past few weeks have you been thinking about most?
Well, musicians over the past few weeks, clearly, it brings to mind Michael Hutchins. A great loss to us all, to the nation, to the world, to the universe.
Well, Roy, I'm not too convinced about your sincerity there, and I have a little quiz here for you to answer. Selected to test the veracity of your claim. First question. What band is Hutchins now joining?
The Stranglers.
Correct. What do Michael Hutchins and In Excess groupies have in common?
They hang around.
What's the difference between Lady Di and Michael Hutchins?
Lady Di was alive when she left the Ritz.
What was Michael Hutchins's last hit?
Michael Hutchins' last hit was The Door when the chambermaid entered the room.
You're doing very well. Final question. What is the difference between Michael Hutchins and Princess Di?
Michael Hutchins didn't forget to wear his belt.
Correct. You are a true believer. And now it's time to welcome to the Armpit a man who strives to make map symbols a thing of beauty. The night of the completely unintelligible box with crosses and a couple of hashes continues. Leap rambler-like to attention and vibrate your water bottles as a way of welcoming Major General-elect Greg Downing and his beliefs on doctrine.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in the evening, I must be really frank, I've had a gut full of all this chocolate already. I'd actually ask the spouses to adjourn. I'd like the course members to close up. We're going to workshop a few of the finer points of Strategic Review 97.
Oh, you. Oh, great.
Now, I know some of you haven't read the document. The spouses I'm talking about. Certainly I have. I'm sure all the course members have. I've taken the liberty of summarising some of the salient points for you. And firstly, the most important points, the post-DRP revised principles of war. This is important. Please pay attention. Notice we've given it a sexy new title. Attract youth Australia. It does it for me. Just like girls in camps. Now obviously a middle-ranked power like Australia cannot afford the whole 10 principles of war. We'll be reorganising, we'll be merging a few together, meshing a few, revitalising, and we'll come up with 14 principles of war. It'll do us proud. First team. Selection and maintenance of the aim. This is a good one. This has become preservation and maintenance of administration. You can see how clever this is. Already, before we've even started, we've merged two of them together. How good is this? Next, concentration of force. This has become concentration on forced redundancies. The next, offensive action. One of my favourites. This has become bad manners. And you can see Steve Drury later in the bar. Next. Obviously we can't afford all of the old principles of war. Next, optimal indecision opportunities. Next. Oh, surprise. It's there again, obviously. Next. Ah, yes. I'm very excited about it. I see a lot of great potential here. This principle of law. Next. And we've dropped this one entirely. Next. That's become vanity of command. That's RAAF in Cairns next year. And finally, we have 3 all-new principles of law. Reorganisation, micromanagement, and paradigm redefinition. In conclusion, this depicts Kate and me all year.
Thank you, ladies.
Roy, doctrine has never been so clear. And now we come to that moment in the show which we have looked forward to all year, the last guided discussion for 97. This year we've seen many stunning uniforms, real airline pilot stuff.
Oh yes, in the last week we've had job with manners. New job with Qantas, not the RAAF. We've had Nab and Hanafi this morning. Didn't they look like proper Christmas trees? Very seasonal.
And oh, by the way, our next object of guided discussion doesn't know he's coming up. We have seen many examples of sartorial elegance unparalleled in Staff Course history. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the Ye St. Laurent Canberra, the Vivian Westwood of the ACT, Phil Landon.
Where's your tie?
Yeah. It's on the wall.
Where's your other tie?
These are the people we wear on a Thursday night in Fairbairn at the Christmas Hall. Welcome to the Armpit Club.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your recent win on the catwalk in Queenscliff. For those of you who are not up on high fashion scene, Phil won the bad tie taste competition at Queenscliff.
May I correct you? It was not the bad tie taste. Well, in fact, it didn't taste too good. It was the tie somewhat lacking in sartorial elegance.
Wouldn't understand. Phil, how has that win changed your life?
Well, one thing, I've got much more energy now. Much more energy. You could say I'm tireless, I suppose.
I understand you also supplied ties for most of the other DS.
I did, but on reflection, I really didn't have to. You should have seen the real stuff.
Kind of has what I had written down here. I'll now pass on to Roy.
I believe, as I think we all do, that it's important to understand the man behind the image. Phil, are you a gardener?
I was once.
So we understand. In fact, that's particularly interesting because we understand from an extremely reliable source, who I noticed, having given us the dirt, is not here this evening. Yes, Brother Kennedy, that you're very good around the garden, especially at cutting the grass. Can you tell us how, back in those heady days, when boys were boys, men were men, and you were flying box kites, back in those heady days of pilot's course graduation, you started grass cutting and met your future wife with the help of one of your mates?
you do have a right to reply.
To which incident do you refer? Was it the gold? Wasn't the gold miner's daughter, was it?
Yes, we understand grass tailing and white anting is one of your many talents, and we'd like to thank you for coming up here this evening. And I'm afraid we cannot reveal our sources. Everyone here in the Armpit, could you please bang together hard for Phil Landon? A very rare treat indeed. 5 seconds of silence. And now let's find out the names of the members who have had so much time this year that they've managed to pick up most of the relevant information about the college. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage for the last time this evening, Kate and Fiona, who are going to inform us on the winners of this year's video competition.
Okay, the very first question we had was, there are a number of photos in the corridor outside the Commandant's office. What date is on the first course photo? Did anybody get that one right?
I don't think so. It's actually December 1943. It's actually written in pencil.
What did table 20?
But I tell you, table 23, that was table 32, which is now table 99, came up with the answer to this question as, my uncle is in the second photo and expected to get marks, sorry. The next question was, what year was the first Reynolds Prize awarded? And for the bonus points, who was the first recipient? The year was 1986, and the recipient was my new boss, Phil Burnham.
But I like table 8's answer, Burt Reynolds. And what did table 99 have?
Les Fisher. Okay, the next question was, who was the first Haymanson Prize winner? And people got a little bit confused here between the Haymanson and Reynolds, but some of the answers were very interesting. Table 99 came up with the Old Man in the Sea.
And table 1 had a very creditable answer, Ernest Hemingway. Okay, the next one about...
What was the answer?
Oh, Squad with a bet.
No, it was Bob Richardson.
Oh, so Bob's here on a resubmit, is he?
Okay, Williams Hall is a photo of balloons taking off. How many are aloft? Syndicate, or table 1 said 3, because the RAAF balloon's been CSP.
And the actual answer's 5.
Oh, yes.
The Queen must be hot. Okay, laughing amongst ourselves. The next question was, what is the name of the street that runs between Williams Hall and the administrative part of RAAF Staff College? The answer is actually Ewart Street. That's E-W-A-R-T. Table 99 seemed to get the answer from the question and said it was Sesame Street.
And the last one, which was, what does the RAAF Staff College motto mean?
Now this brought out a few really good ones.
Okay, table 3 had tick the box. Table 2 had thrusters are us. Table 4 had wisdom prevails over everything, ipso facto. Table 9, to mill is good, to mill forever divine. Table 1 sort of, oh, what was that one? Verdi Verdi Vecchi, wasn't it? No, Vidi Vidi Vidi. Table 1, actually we got it right. A minute. Table 8 had Astra La Vista, baby. What was that table 9?
Table 99 thinks that the college motto is stuff the college, and they've given it in French at the end.
Was it Stuffe de collage? The actual answer was wisdom prevails over strength, sapientia virtue prevale. My Latin's poor, anyway, that's it. Okay.
Da-da-da, drum roll. Okay, that's right.
In last place, with a score of 0, is table 23, table 32, and table 99.
And in case you didn't know, that's Anne and Louise's table over there, and Mr. Kay and Jane, is that you hiding there? Oh, and Mike Stewart, what? And the winner, with a score of 10.5 points, they got the half points because they were within 10 cents of the daiquiri prize. With 10.5 points, table 9. It was very close. Table 1 was on 10 points. You lost because of the daiquiris. Oh, Dixo got the daiquiri. You must have lost on something else. But thank you for the participation, and we'll enjoy the champagne.
Popular win, popular win. Whether you're here in the armpit or there in your office looking at the monitor, please bang them together and bang them together hard for Kate and Fiona. Alas, Roy, finally it's time for the last contribution of the evening. And thank you, Tony. And say the most important contribution until last. Yes, with the real world just around the corner, tonight's final offering would grace Eton and Penrith Panthers, banana daiquiris and all. College staff, will you go to Squirrel and scream with delight as you welcome to the armpit studs with puns.
Fat and docile, big and dumb, but look so stupid, they aren't much fun. Studs are fun. They grow to learn and learn to die, die to be munched into a DRP pie. Studs are gun. They require direction, they're lost and confused. The planners can't lead them, they're dumb and abused. Studs misused. They follow the program, it has to be read. They flock to the hall, the germs stuff their heads. Studs inbred. We will fight for student freedom and hold our swollen brains high. We will run free with the library star or die. Starts with puns. We entertain visitors, we take them to lunch. We travel incessantly, just another brunch. Studs will munch. They sat through the lectures, they slept in their seats. After the thank you, they voted with their feet. Studs are stunned. He was posted to Russell, the sentence 3 years, to manage the transition to new phase careers. Studs drink beers. I'm a CSC graduate. I think DRP is crap. I'd rather go AWOL and then take the rap. Run, stud, run. We will fight for student freedom and hold our swollen brains high. We will run free with the library sky blanket. Nobody knew. No one imagined the student guru. Starts on one. He spoke about joinery, but nobody stirred. He was a pariah, alone and unheard. Start his bum. I remember nothing from course. My brain's like a sieve. Can't talk about air power I'm fitted for, but not with. Starts are dumb. I'm a graduate now. I've tried the showstoppers. I'm going to Russell to tell lots of whoppers. And when they least expect it, I'll kick the grunts off the choppers. We will fight for student freedom and hold our swollen veins high. We will run free with the library star or die. Starts with puns.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Monty. Thank you, new seekers. Thank you for sliders. And so we come to the end of this evening's show. And I suppose the end of the year. Roy, where are you off to in the coming set of 12?
Well, HG, as you know, the Lithgow Cadet Force are sponsoring me on a fact-finding mission to the UK. London, in fact. Well, it was either that or some job lying for a General Dunn or an Errol McCormack. McCormack. Did I say lying? I meant to say lying.
And as we sign off for the Armpit this evening, we'd like to thank all those who contributed to the evening, especially Monty, the new seekers, and the sliders. Also, those in front and behind the scenes, Dean, Judith, Robbo, and Amanda for their invaluable assistance. And we would be remiss if we didn't thank the Mess staff for their support, not just this evening, but throughout the year.
I think we'd also like to thank, on behalf of the course, we'd like to thank the college staff for their good humour this evening, especially you, sir, and throughout the year. I think we also need to give one last vote of appreciation to Kate, Fiona, Dixo, Anne, Ray and Robbo for their efforts on our behalf this year. I'm also going to take a bit of a liberty here. I know it's unusual, but there we go. We've heard a lot over the past few weeks, I mean the internationals, about how much we've contributed to the course and how much we have added to your year. Well, you're not convincing, but we'll believe you anyway. I think it's worth saying, on behalf of the internationals, both here and those not here who had to be elsewhere, thank you all very much indeed. You've made our year something very special, and that goes to everybody, both members and staff. Thank you very much indeed.
And on behalf of 50 Command Staff College, we'd like to thank you, Phil, for putting together this show, because without your effort, we just wouldn't be here tonight. And you've driven it, and we thank you for that. Thank you very much.
And finally, the last thank you. Richo, a man barely alive. No jokes. Bob, thank you for your vast efforts this year. You had the job that no one wanted, and you did it brilliantly. Thank you very much, and good luck, sincerely.
lastly, thanks to you, the audience, whether here in the dining room and the Armpit, or there in your offices on the fiddle, fumble and flop. Thanks for taking interest in variety. I now call on nobody to say anything more except myself and Roy. Good night and see you in the bar.
Merry little Christmas, let your heart beat light. From now on your troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more.